Hello, puppets. Alright, so I need it. Alright, so that is not it. Can't tell by the title of this video. I am going to put against my test, two different color correctors that I have bought from the drugstore and that I have been using and liking. I like both of these. I want to start there. It's just when I would use one, I would kind of think like, oh, I wonder like what the difference between that one and the other color corrector I have. Even though I know these were different colors and different textures and all that, it was just, they're both color correctors. And they're both color correctors specifically for dark circles. So I have the Maybelline Master Camo by Face Studio. This is the color correcting pen in Apricot for dark circles. I want to test this against my Wet n Wild Mega Cushion color corrector for dark circles, and this is in Peach. So Apricot and Peach, and that is honestly a very big color difference. As you will see in there, they are not the same color, and obviously one's a cushion and one's in a pen and it's more cream liquid. I really just wanted to test this out because I think when you're doing it, it's like, oh, that looks good and that one looks good. But I wanted to test out if one was better than another, if one was able to cover more, how it looked. It's been a little bit, and see if it settled or how it moved. So I just really wanted to test these two. Kind of walk you through and go through like first putting it on, putting foundation on, and then concealer. So I have my verdict at the end, but if you kind of wanted to see how these two compare on the face next to each other and some thoughts on it, then please keep watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, link, share, throw it out there. That rhymed. Yep. We'll go with that one. Okay, but if you want to see how these stand up next to each other, then please keep watching. So I have my primer on, and I have the two different color correctors. So I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Master Camo on this side of my face. And I'm going to use the Maybelline Cushion on this side of my face. So when you open the Maybelline Master Camo, you can see it has a little spongile on it. So first and foremost, let's crank it out and put it on. I put this on a lot like I would put on concealer, at least, I mean, that's how I do it. This is a very thick color corrector. I know a lot of them are. So I'm just going to keep it in the dark circle area. That's what I normally do. You see I brought it out a little bit. You could actually even do less. And I try to get that far up there even though I don't try to mess with that part of my eye. You have that over here. And I'm just going to then take the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion, which is a cushion. Looks like this. I'm going to take a damp beauty blender, get that in there, and put this on this side. So they are two completely different formulas, one, colors, two. Now that Maybelline one is an apricot, that is the lighter of the two shades they have. They're both for dark circles. So let me blend that out. This is obviously much more brightening, even though it doesn't say so. I love this Wet n Wild cushion. I've just started using the Maybelline, but I'm interested in trying to see at the end if there's a true difference between the two, if one does more for hiding my dark circles. So that is the Wet n Wild one blended out, one coat. So same brush, I'm going to Wet Beauty Blender, blend out the Master Camo side. This is a video inside of a video, Inception at its finest. Filming my eyes, stopping to film this. So this is my first time using either of these. Just impressions as I have them next to each other and whatnot. I feel as though the Camo one's a little off-putting. I'm just calling the Maybelline one the Camo one because it is that orange apricot shade. So it's kind of making me look sallow or something. I also use it on this. I wanted to use that one on that side too because I obviously have like a little dark mole or dark spot in my dark circle, so I was interested to see if it would cover up that. It actually blends out fairly well. I've had some issues before about it almost drying too fast, which is why I wanted to like let it go. So seeing, I mean, you can definitely tell the Maybelline, I mean, the Wet n Wild one is brighter. It's brighteninger. It lifts it. It makes me feel like I could leave right now and look okay, whereas this one, it kind of looks like, I'm using the word sallow, and I don't know if that's right. It looks orangey, but that's the color, but it doesn't look like I could leave right now with it. Now, for the purpose of this, these are both supposed to be for dark circles, not for brightening, so I kind of want to take that off the table with this one. I don't know, right now I can't tell. Maybe I'll tell better on camera. Even like when I get up close, it's almost like, I don't know, neither are helping. Again, I'm going to put on foundation and concealer, but just like right off the bat, looking at them, I'm drawn to this side because it's lighter, so it's brightened it, and I don't want to do that. But as far as my dark circles, not seeing anything yet. I mean, this is, I don't know. I do think this side though, so I don't have too much finish with dark circles as much as I have like sunken in eyes, and I feel like the orange on this side, the camo, kind of disguises that a little bit more. Maybe because it's darker than the other one, but okay, so I'm gonna go in with foundation and concealer. We'll do foundation check, then concealer check. Okay. For the purpose of this, I'm going to go with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I've really been loving this foundation, so we shall see. Okay, so now our foundation is on. I will say, I mean, it covers a lot. I don't know, they kind of look the same to me right now. I can still see, I mean, this dark circle to me, the Wet n Wild side, this does look darker, especially in there. Whereas this side looks a little bit less dark, especially going in. The one thing I didn't like, and again, this is just foundation right now, is I still feel, and I don't know if it comes across on camera, that the orange is like tinged here, and since I can't get up too much or like not like kill myself trying to go over it. Yeah, I don't know if you, like, it just seems like there's a rim of it, but not anywhere else but right up there. This side is definitely more brightening. I think because of the different colors, this is always going to seem a little bit darker. So you might want to think about going in with maybe a brightening concealer as you think about that as well in general. But I mean, that is the one thing about this eye, looks a lot more lighter underneath. So that's my concern with this one, even though it is covering the dark circles. Maybe I do need to not take the product as much and just do like a couple dabs there. This could completely be the issue as well. So okay, next we're going to do concealer. For both eyes, we're going to go in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin concealer in light neutral. This is honestly my holy grail concealer in general. So I figured that already I love this, and if I put it on top, maybe I might be able to make a decision on which of these I like better. Now that is with concealer, and it's not set yet. Now that concealer's on, I'm gonna say there's not a huge difference, honestly. I was looking up close. The only thing about that apricot pen with here, I feel like because I got so close, or because of the way it blends out underneath of my eye, that I don't know if it comes across on camera, I still feel like I can see it on there, even though I've blended it with concealer. This eye just tends to draw me a little bit more. I mean, honestly, you can still see them on both sides, so I'm trying to go by what it tracks when I look. And this is actually my better eye, but I think that one is calling the attention more in terms of covering. I'm going to set that and check in again. I'm going to set that with my RCMA palette. powder and my e.l.f. concealer brush. So both eyes are set. Maybelline Master Camo Wet n Wild Cushion. I actually think they both do a pretty good job. They seem very similar. I am going to have to go so far now that everything is on and done with the Wet n Wild Cushion. I don't know if it is because it does have that brightening effect too, that when I look, I feel like it's drawn to that more, but also because I feel as though going in this dark circle is not as dark as this one. So I'm going to go finish the rest of my face, kind of give this a chance to like settle, mingle, coagulate. That's not right. Just kind of see what happens as it sits for a little bit while I finish up the rest of my face, finish up my other video, and then I'm going to kind of come back and give my thoughts, see if anything new, and the final verdict. I applied the rest of my face, kind of gave it a time to settle in. I've been doing a lot of like up close looking, trying to see how I feel about it, which side I like better. Final verdict, I feel as though now that everything is applied, if you ask me which side, especially close up, I like better, I would say they're very similar in the sense that I don't even realize that I used two different products on my eyes. Really looking, I think I prefer the Wet n Wild side. I will say before I like took a little break and went downstairs, thought I was leaning toward the Master Camo side because I thought it was covering up my dark circles a little bit more. But when I came back upstairs and I kind of like took a mirror and was really looking just in what side I like better, regardless, it's this side. I will say at the end of the day, especially with all the other makeup on, they're very similar, so it just depends on maybe which one you want. Maybe if you have darker circles, you would rather try the Maybelline Camo pen since it is darker and has more to cover. In general, I think I prefer the Wet n Wild one too, since it is brightening as well. And I don't always wear a full face of makeup, which is maybe why this works out too. The Wet n Wild one is a lot lighter. I don't have to worry so much with the Maybelline pen. I was really concerned about the edging and having to worry about that. You really have to blend it out since it's such a concentrated color. But honestly, at the end of the day, they're both drugstore. They're both cheap. I think the Camo pen was around $8-9. The Wet n Wild one was less than $5. So maybe if you're nervous and you just want to try it out, I would try the Wet n Wild cushion. That's probably at the end of the day the one I prefer in terms of cost, use, and overall look. I do think both did a great job at color correcting. I mean, my dark circles are still there, but I have yet to try a color corrector that really is like and gone as much as the concealer has. I really wanted to do it side by side because it's very easy to wear one and think it looks good and then wear another and think it looks good. Even though next to each other, I feel they are very similar. I do feel like they accomplished something. I still think I would go with the Wet n Wild side over the Camo pen, but that's my personal preference. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though sometimes I feel like my kind of reviews are like, well, maybe not, maybe a little bit. I really just wanted to try these out next to each other on two eyes to see if there was a true difference, if I preferred one over the other, and maybe help you out if you were looking like, color correctors, I'm not sure which one I want to try. Is one going to be a dud? Is another one really worth it? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment, subscribe, link, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, thumbs to the side, any of that other stuff, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks. Bye.